until they heard the CEO call a scrap collector chairman. Everyone was shocked to realize that the man they had always looked down on was actually the richest man in the world. It turned out the man had been testing his son by hiding his identity as the world's richest man. He not only handed his corporation over to a female CEO, but also lived with his son in the countryside for 20 years without change. He even collected scraps to pay for his son's schooling. Fortunately, the boy made him proud. He not only achieved the highest exam score in the city, but also got accepted into a prestigious local university. The school even held a celebration banquet for him. They invited renowned figures from the local academic circle to attend. Because the man had just come from collecting scraps, he didn't have time to change clothes, so he showed up at the banquet entrance dressed like a beggar. Unexpectedly, he was stopped outside by the waiter. When the man said that he was the boy's father, everyone started mocking them. Just then, a famous professor walked over. People thought he would speak up for the father and son, but instead, the professor mocked the man as well and walked away. Once the man finally made it into the banquet, he naturally sat at the head of the table. This shocked all the nearby guests. A cousin who had some money saw how rude he was acting and immediately mocked him. He said the man looked like a beggar, embarrassed his own son, and lacked even basic manners, truly uncultured. The boy was about to defend his father, but the professor cut him off. Just as the professor finished speaking, the female CEO walked in with a group of people. Before anyone could react, she walked straight up to the man. Seeing that the man didn't stand to greet her, the professor and cousin both thought he was doomed. But in the next second, the CEO's words left them completely stunned. No one expected the man to actually know the CEO. The professor and cousin immediately started apologizing to the man, saying their earlier actions were all just a joke. But the man ignored them completely. He just got up and stepped outside for some air. The reason the woman attended the banquet was to ask the richest man to return and run the company again. She explained that the company was now facing a competitor who was not only a famous Wall Street mogul, but also a financial genius. If the richest man didn't come back, she was afraid she couldn't handle it. But the man still refused her request because he believed in her, that she would defeat the rival. But he didn't know the competitor had already made a move. Not only did they disrupt the banquet, but also publicly declared war on the woman. They announced their company had officially entered the local market and would soon begin operations. Their goal was to crush the woman's corporation. Even the shareholders' stocks began to plummet. Seeing this, many people started switching allegiance to the rival group. Seeing his own banquet ruined, the boy immediately tried to make them leave. But he was just a student, with no power to compete with a corporation. He even resented his father for being useless, unable to help